third time's a charm. Not like I didn't have my mic turned on for the first 2 times and it doesn't make a difference. Anyway, going in, first one we get is Karybdis, okay? This flies differently than Hawks. You'll hear a few comparison to Hawks. But this is a completely different way of flying. So where Hawks, you can fly away, you can kill things before they get to you, you can outrange Karybdis. You can't in Nergals. It's not a thing. And also you're slower in Nergals, so it can be more challenging. First thing off the bat is we don't have any towers that are going to interfere with drones, so we can send the drones out to start killing the entanglers and the newts, which is going to be very important because they kind of need to die. So absolutely make sure that if you can, effectively use your drones. It's very important. Yes, some things will shoot them. You have to bring them in. Micromanaging them can be difficult, but they add almost an extra 300 DPS, and 300 DPS makes a very big difference. You're going to lose some. Almost consider them more ammunition than anything, because that's essentially what they are. So we're going to go through, we're going to take out a few guys, but once we get towards the Karybdis, we're going to take out the Karybdis, because it's very important that Karen dies. Karen is a very, very bad ship. You do not want her left alive. And God, is that how far away I was from Karen? Am I looking at the wrong thing? No, Karen is very far away on this one. That was right. Alright, so obviously you want to get in range and under Karen's guns so you don't have to worry about that DPS anymore. So once you can get close enough, make sure you go in at an angle. Don't fly straight at Karen. That's always a mistake. Oh, this too. Was that a speed cloud? I can't remember if that was a speed cloud. I think that's why I hated this room so much. No, this one wasn't too bad. Okay. So then switch to Occult from Mystic. Mystic has about a 18 kilometer range. Occult has a 7 kilometer range. It's really not very far. However, Occult really ramps up very high. You can get almost 2,000 DPS with your 3 Nergals if they have time to ramp up. Again, that's why we have the 5% implant, trying to get that ramp. And we're going to repair this guy up. I don't usually bother midway or ever. I usually let them die. They're replaceable, little replaceable drones. Anyway, I had the opportunity, so I did it. Karybdis goes down really fast with Nergals. The battleship rooms are so fast with these guys, it's not even fair. It's some of the other rooms that actually give us some issues. So you can see Karybdis is down. We are not far at all from the gate. Only about 30 kilometers. We've already looted the cache. I do that on my alt because this guy has a cap booster. My alts have cap batteries, so one of my alts carries extra boosters in case I need them. I like to sit around 10 on this guy. And then my other alt, who doesn't need cap boosters at all either, he'll grab the loot for me because he's got lots of space for it. He's got like 200 cubic meters. This guy does not. So unfortunately, I can't show it to you as I go, but that's kind of all right. So I'm not splitting up the rooms this time. I'm going to put spots in the video to jump around a little easier. The next room is... it's a Rodiva room. But the problem is this is essentially a fleet that brought 1 DPS frigate with 4 remote rep cruisers that are not very good at remote repping each other. So we're not even looking at the frigates first. We're going straight for the Rodivas. Normally, I thin out the DPS. They didn't bring any, really. So I wasn't worried about it. So we're going to kill the Rodivas. This is an extremely quick room. Even if there were more frigates, this is still an extremely quick room. We're going to play a little bit with ammo, just so you can kind of see some stuff. For this, I would normally use Mystic if my DPS stayed with Mystic the whole time. This guy played around a little bit. He switched to Occult, I believe right about there, because I just wanted to show it to you. It's like, hey, can we make Occult work? Hey, look, Occult is working. Hey, look, it's ramping up quicker. Hey, look, it's more DPS. But then you'll see the issue with it as well, and it's that it has an extremely short range. And that short range is going to be what causes you some issues. So there you go. There's the next one, the last one, in fact. My other guys are doing DPS to it. I'm not in range. Flying towards it, still not in range. He ended up outranging me for a fair bit of it, and I just switched back to Mystic. It's an instant switch, which of course you don't want to do all of the time, because you lose DPS every time you stop firing. So you want to fire as often as possible at the same target. Of course, it doesn't really matter for the frigates. They die pretty quickly. Just to show you the loot, there we go. And my alt's going to loot it, not this guy. There, disappears, and we're going to go to the very last room of this one. Okay, so if you take a look at the top left there, I can't remember if I messed over or not, there is lots of time. 11 minutes and 40 seconds for the last room. You need 6 minutes and 40 seconds to be on time, so we are well ahead of time. Now, again, drones, use drones as often as possible. However, if you take a look, the short-range deviant is right over by that tower. So, wait, the short-range deviant is the tower. The short-range deviant tower is right over by those Deepwatchers. So you're not going to use your drones on this one. You're gonna stay away. We are going to switch to occult, and we're going to split targets. And the reason we do that is, even though these guys have a little bit of remote rep, the Nergals DPS ramp can overcome that really quickly, so that instead of resetting your DPS 3 times to kill these guys, you end up doing approximately 2,000 DPS, 2,300 DPS if your drones are out, which again, we can't do it. So what I like to do, I have 3 monitors. So my left monitor character is number 1, my middle is number 2, my right is number 3. That's how I remember it. And if I could have my drones out, I'd have my drones first kill the 2 Lucids there, and then I'd have my drones go on to number 2 because my tank has less DPS. The other 2 have 2 Entropics. This guy doesn't have any, because that's not his job. His job is to survive, and that's it. One was a little late to the party because he was grabbing loot, and I did a horrible job. But you know what? He got it. That's perfectly fine. I think he might have come into the room late as well. I can't remember offhand now. This is so 3 runs ago. But yeah, it obviously went pretty good. 1 does ramp up faster than 2 does because, again, 2 Entropics. That speeds everything up, plus it increases the damage of it. So, yeah, drones you can use to kind of even out the DPS, to take care of the ads. That way you're ramping up the whole time. Otherwise, obviously, this same as Hawks. This is an easy room. This is a DPS race, and these guys can race DPS. They can hit 2.5 times the damage that the Hawks end up getting. And because we're in Firestorms, we're doing an unappropriate damage. It's mixed, unfortunately. It has explosive in there. But you know what the next best damage type is? It's explosive. So thermal explosive does very well. Same as if there was thermal EM. I wouldn't be sad about that in any kind of way. Thermal EM. That's exactly what I meant. Cool. So I have the other guys taking care of the ads. We're finishing up number 2. And then this room is done. It is done with plenty of time left. And absolutely no issues. And there you go. First and second room will be posted under this, because I forgot to record the second one.